Hello everyone, welcome to CloudChat 365. In our previous tutorial, we talked about what is the fundamentals of cloud computing, the cloud foundation. So in this chapter, we are going to talk about getting started with Microsoft Azure. So myself is Devraj. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, solution architect, and cloud security engineer. Let's get into the topic. So now we are going to see about how to create a free Azure account. So any one of you wants to practice the Azure services or wants to learn about the Azure services, first of all you need a Microsoft Azure account. So with this help of this account, you can explore all the services inside the Microsoft Azure and you can experience yourself with Microsoft Cloud Computing. Let's go and see how we can create a free Azure account. So open any browser and search for Azure free account. So in the first link you will get start your free account. So now we will be redirect to the Microsoft Azure account creation page. So create your free account today with 12 months of free services. If you scroll a little bit down, so what are the things you will get? So with your free Azure account, you will get a 12 month of popular free services which is in Azure, and you will be credited with 13,300 INR for exploring the Azure resources for 30 days. This 13,300 INR, which is equivalent to 200 US dollars. So using this 200 US dollars, you can just explore yourself to all the services which is inside the Microsoft Azure. But please make a note, this 13,000 INR which will be only available for 30 days. So after the 30 days, even if you not consumed the credits, the account will be automatically get disabled, or whichever comes first, whether you have consumed your 13,300 INR before to 30 days, or the account free trial account limit is reached to 30 days, your account will be free trial account will be automatically disabled. And along with that, we also get always free 25 services in Azure. So these services will be always available for you to access free in Microsoft Azure. Just scroll down a little bit and you can see the products are free for 12 months, and these products are free each month for 12 months based upon the availability of resources and region. Okay, so let me showcase you. So if it comes to the compute domain, we will have both Windows and Linux virtual machine. So each mission we will get a 750 hours of free time to run the to spin up the B1 size virtual machine for each month. So if you cross the 750 hours, for example, you have run a B1S virtual machine for 1000 hours. So 750 hours you won't be charged, and for balance 250 hours you will be charged based upon the consumption model. Similar to that, if you take the manager disk, we will get two nodes of 64 GB SSD. And if it comes to the blob storage, we will get a 5 GB of LRS hot block storage to store our data. And if you consume more than 5 GB, then we will be charged based upon the consumption. Similar to that, we have a file storage, and we will have each month we will have an offer to create a 250 GB of SQL databases. So same way, we have an Azure Cosmos DB, and we will use a 15 GB of outbound internet traffic. So some services which are free for each month, and if it comes to the bandwidth, this is for your 12 month. So overall 12 month you can consume a 15 GB of bandwidth outbound data transfer. For example, if you consumed your 15 GB of outbound data transfer in the first month, then you will be charged based upon the consumption. And you can scroll down and see what are the other services which are free. And we also see some of the services which are always free and it won't be charged. And Azure Cosmos DB, you will have a 5 RU, that is processing RUs, which is free for always free for the first 400 RUs which is processed under the first Cosmos DB in your account. For each month it will be free, and you can use 10 app services plan, and we can use a lakh of functions, Azure functions request per month. And you can scroll down and view the full list of services which is always free. So here we have an Azure Active Directory with unlimited SSO for the users along with the MFA, and we have an Azure DevOps which we can use 5 users with unlimited private Git repository. So in Azure DevOps services we can use the 5 users with unlimited private Git repositories. So repository is nothing but storing our codes. So if you further scroll down, you will get an option for the load balancer. So what is the limitation of load balancer which we can use for the free services? And we will get an Azure automation account. So if you want to automate our Windows servers patching, or we are running any Azure desired state configuration task, we can use the Azure automation account for that. And what is the limitation? We can use the 50 vnet in our free trial subscription for the first 12 month. The limitation is 50. And if you further scroll down, you will get in tools like Visual Studio Code and SQL Server 2019 Developer Edition for the first 12 month of free services, which you can use for database and coding structure. So let me give this link in the description so that you can use it for the further reference. So now we are going to see about how to create a free Azure account. To create a free Azure account, just type for Azure free account. Go to create your Azure free account today and click on start free. So you will be redirected to the sign up page. So first of all, to create a free Azure account, you need three things mandatory needed as a prerequisites to create a Azure account. To create an Azure account, the first thing you need is a valid email address and a valid phone number, and the third is the most important thing, you should have a valid credit card. It should be a Visa or Master. So to create an Azure account, you need all these three things mandatory to create a free Azure account. Let's go to the portal and see. So now I am entering the email address. and the password for the account. This is the first time I'm using the user to log in to this account. So it's asked me to reset the password for the first time sign in. So now we will be landed up to the form to fill the Azure account page. So here we have an option, and in the right hand side we can see the popular free services for 12 months and 25 plus services along with the free, and we will be awarded with 13,300 credit for the first 30 days. So let me go ahead and fill the form. Demo user cloud share, and you should give you a proper mobile number. So I'm just giving the dummy mobile number, and organization is cloud share. And here the PAN ID is PAN ID is nothing but your PAN card. It is optional, so it is not a mandatory, so we can just ignore and click next. And here you need to fill your credit card details. So your card holder name, credit card number, and valid expiry with the address. So once you give next, the Azure will go ahead and verify the things which you have provided, and it will land to the license agreement page. And once you agree the license, you will be get the email that your free account has been free Azure account has been created, and you can access to the free Azure account. Unfortunately, I cannot create the account because I already have a professional account for the learning and education purpose. So you all can follow the steps which I provided to get your account creation done in Microsoft Azure. So far we have seen about how to create a free Microsoft Azure account, and also we see what are all the free services which are comes under the free trial, and what are the services which comes free forever. And now we are going to see about subscriptions in Azure. So what is subscription in Azure? A subscription is nothing but the billing entity which will monitor all the services you are using or consuming inside the Microsoft Azure. So for example, you are using a storage account or a virtual machine. Based upon that usage limit, there will be some amount of charges will be applied. So this is applied over the subscription you are using, and it manage the account administration. Account administration means, so who can access the subscription and what level of subscription the user can have. The users can have. So this access can be provided using the RBAC, role-based access control. Using the role-based access control, we can provide the user with the co-admin or administrator of the owner of the subscription, or we can define in subscription IAM, like he can view only the virtual machine resources or database resources, or he can have only access to the Azure Active Directory. So this sort of restriction we can provide to the users using the subscription IAM. So we further go down and see what type of subscription we have in Azure. So in Azure subscription types, we have many subscriptions, but I have taken down the top 3 subscriptions we are using. So first is free trial. The free trial subscription is nothing but we already discussed. We will be get with 13,300 INR or equivalent to 200 US dollars for 30 days. So once your 30 days is got exhausted, or you have consumed your 13,300 INR, Then you have an option to convert your account to pay as you go. The pay as you go is nothing but based upon your usage or consumption of the services you will be charged. So charges will be automatically debited from your credit card you are giving while creating an Azure account. And the final subscription is member offer subscription. The member offer subscription is which is provided by the third party vendor or specifically from the uh, Microsoft agreement, which you are made a deal with the end Microsoft support. So member offer subscription which is like you will pay $1,200 or $1,000 for each month. So it will be like an the plan based upon the plan you are purchasing. So you can purchase the plan based upon your business need, and you can access your resources in Microsoft Azure. We go and see what are all the member offer and what are all the subscriptions which is available in Microsoft Azure in a Microsoft website. So now I'm on Microsoft Azure offer details page. So these are all the Azure support subscriptions we have in Microsoft Azure. The Azure plan, the enterprise agreement support, the pay as you go support, and the free trial. So these are the list of subscriptions we have a separate subscription for dev and test, and these are Azure sponsorship. For example, you are participating in some of the Microsoft event, they will provide you the Azure passes. Using the Azure passes you can redeem $100 to practice your Azure stuffs. And we have a separate subscription Azure for students or customer service provider, a CSP, customer service provider subscription. So these are all the list of subscriptions. So you can go and refer each plan. For example, if you want to go about know about the details of the pay as you go, you can just go ahead and read the things provided in the Microsoft page. I will give this link in a video description. You can access for your reference. So now we are going to see about managing the Azure subscription. So how the subscription will be defined? So in an enterprise organization, we have an option to purchase an Azure EA subscription, that is enterprise agreement subscription. This enterprise agreement subscription will be further breakdown into departments. So if we have a multiple department in your organization, we can split the department and we can provide access for each department based upon the business need. So the department is further breakdown into accounts. The accounts is further breakdown into subscriptions. So each department will have an account admin. The account admin will manage the subscription. So the subscription is further breakdown into resource groups and resources. So we will see the resource group and the resources in end of the tutorial. What is the resource and resource groups? So this is a hierarchy structure how the Azure EA subscriptions, the enterprise agreement subscriptions will work. We go and see some hierarchy flowchart scenario. So just consider you have an CloudShare 365 EA subscription. The subscription is further breakdown into department A, B and C, and each department will have two accounts, that is either production environment, or we have a pre-prod staging environment. So likewise we have a department V has a separate account and C has a D and E account. So why we are splitting this? So by splitting the subscription we can get an accurate details which department is consuming what amount of resources in Azure, and based upon that the billing will be generated and we can provide to each department for our billing purpose. So let me further give the use case scenario. So just consider you have an enterprise EA agreement and you have a department like finance and IT, and then finance group is have one account owner and IT group is having one account owner. So the account owner is further having two subscriptions. One subscription is for project development and another subscription is using for project test. Similar, we have taken the use case of business division. So business division is having an enterprise and they have a department like auto and aerospace. So each of the account owner will have a different subscription. So now we are going to see about the enterprise account access chart. So what is an enterprise account means? An enterprise account, using an enterprise account, we can create and manage multiple subscription in Azure. You can also roll up and manage all your subscriptions, giving you an enterprise view of how many resources and minutes you are using per subscription. So just for clarity, so if you have an EA account, under the EA account you can manage multiple subscriptions. Subscription 1, 2, 3. So you can just drill down and see what a subscription one and what are the consumption and usage of each resources using a single EA account. So to view this, we have some restrictions and policies who can view the data across the subscriptions and who cannot. So we use this chart for the reference. So on the top layer we have the list of admins who can manage the EA account. That is, first is the enterprise admin, the department admin, and followed by the account owner and the service admin. And when it comes to enterprise admin, the enterprise admin can create the department and he can assign a owner to the department. So he can create a department like IT or finance and he can assign any user to be a owner of the department. And now he can also associate any new accounts to the department. So he can add a subscription. No, he cannot add a subscription to the any account directly. But he can make himself as an account owner and get a privileges to assign a subscription to the account. And he can view all the data charges across all the subscriptions and he can view the remaining credits. If it is a monthly flex kind of subscription, he can view the remaining balance for the each subscription. And when it comes to the department admin, the department admin can create an account owners and he can edit the department which is comes under his privilege and he can add accounts to the department. But he cannot manage the subscription. The management of the subscription only done by the account owner and he can view the data charges across the departments. For example, if the department is IT or finance managed by user A, the user A can view all the usage and charges, but he cannot view the overall enterprise other subscription remaining balance and budgets and all. And when it comes to the account owner privilege, the account owner will create a service admins who can manage the particular subscription and he cannot create a new department. The account owner cannot create a new department, only the department admin or an EA admin can create a department and he cannot add or associate any new accounts to the enrollment and he cannot and he the only one can add a subscription to the account. The account owner can add a subscription to the account and he can view the data charges across his account. For example, under the account owner he is having multiple subscriptions. Yes, he can view the data charges across the subscription and but he cannot view the remaining EA account subscriptions which is apart from his privileges. And we have another role called service admin. Let's see what the service admin can do. So a service admin who can manage the services in the Azure portal and can assign users to the co-administrator role. The service administrator is granted with full access to the Azure portal and has the same the user access as a user who assigned. So the service account will get a full privilege to access anything on the Azure portal. So you can manage the all services like VM or the storage or databases, everything he can. But he cannot edit the department, or he cannot add or associate a new accounts to the enrollment, and he cannot add any new subscriptions, and he cannot view any data, but he able to manage all the services inside the Azure portal. So the role will be service admin. So now we onboard ourselves to Azure portal. Let's log into Azure portal and access the Azure resources. And we have some tool, what are the services, how the GUI of Azure portal looks like. And we need to set up a budget. Why we need to set up a budget? Because once ever you log into the Azure subscription for the first time, you will get a 13,300 INR. So as a learner, what kind of mistakes you have usually do is you just create a virtual machine and you just left it alone after your testing. So the machine consumption, for example, for every 1 hour it will consume 100 rupees, and you just use it for 2 hours and you just left the machine turn on. So the remaining hours you left will be charged. For example, next day you came and again you say the machine is on. So actual cost is you have used only for 200 rupees, but you as you left the machine is on, you need to pay for another 2200 rupees, because another 24 hours you have wasted by just letting the machine on. So to make sure we should not cross the budget, we will set the budget in Azure subscription, and once we cross the limit like 3000 or 4000 based upon our limit, we will be triggered an email that dear user, you have almost crossed your budget amount in Azure subscription. So again we can, once we got the email, we can log into Azure portal and check the cost analysis. We can do whether we can drill down what are the services which is consumed more, we are really used the really consumed the resource or not using the budget. So let's move on to the Azure portal and let's see how to access the Azure portal. To access the Azure portal, the link is portal.azure.com. So if you access to this link, you will be onboarded to the Azure portal. Let's go in. So open any browser and search for portal.azure.com, and now we will be redirected to the login page of Microsoft Azure. Now let me enter the username and password. So this is the first time you will get a welcome message when it comes to Microsoft Azure. So do you want to start a tool? Maybe later. So this is the Microsoft Azure login page, and if we see on the left side of pan, you will have tab of all resources. So here you will have the list of all the resources you have deployed under your Microsoft Azure account. So currently these all are the resources which I am using in the portal. And if you go to all services, you will have a list of categories. What are all the things we can use it in Azure? So if you go to the general tab, we have some common general resources in Azure like subscription, cost management, management groups, resource groups, or Azure marketplaces we have. And if it goes to the compute domain, we have virtual machine scale set, app services, Kubernetes services, and virtual machine images, disk we have. And if you go to the networking services, so each category will define the particular things in Azure. For if in the networking category, we have a we have virtual network interface, load balancers, Azure private DNS, and we have an Azure firewalls, web and WAF web application, firewall policies, everything. And if it comes to the storage, we have what are the storage services which is available on Azure. And when it comes to the top, you have a shell to access. Sometimes we are have a requirement to access the Azure portal via command shell or using the bash shell or PowerShell. So in this time we can use the Azure shell to access the resources. And second thing is directories. The directory is nothing but the collection of users and objects in a particular Azure account. We will see what is directory and subscription on the further tutorials. And we have a notification. So if you deploy any resources or any services in Azure, we will be getting a notification here. And if you go to the if you want to go to the subscription means, here we have a subscriptions. So I am using a Visual Studio Enterprise subscription. So this is the subscription. So I can view what are all the amount I have used in the subscription. As I am a account owner, I able to view this sort of details. If there is no privilege, I cannot view the billing details and all. So this is how the Azure portal looks like. So now we go and set the budget for our subscription quickly. So in the search bar, you can just type for subscription. So you'll get a subscription. Click on your subscription. And if you go scroll down to the cost management, you will have an option called budget. Click on budget and select add. So name for your budget: monthly usage, so I'm just setting a period for a monthly billing, and the creation date is today for the month of November, and the expiration when this budget alert will be expired is, I'm just giving as a November or September anyone, so I'm just giving as December 2021. So this year. So what is the amount? So my baseline amount is 5,000. So I'm just setting an alert that I want to use the resources for only up to 5,000 rupees. So next, so when the alert I should get when I cross the budget limit. So if I consume the overall 50 percentage out of 2,500 out of 5,000 rupees, so I should be intimated that I have almost exhausted the 50 percentage of my budget. So I'm just giving the 50 percentage, and you can see the amount reflected because I have given 5,000 rupees. So here the 50 percentage of amount is 2,500, and if I give 60, based upon that the amount will be changed. So now I'm giving the amount of 50%. And what is an action group? Action group is nothing but a group of people will be member of one group, and we can set an alert to all the members inside the group. We will see in the further tutorials how to work with the monitors and the action group. For just a testing purpose, And for this tutorial, I'm just adding one of my email address. So I just requesting Azure. So once I reach the 50% of my budget, just send an email to this email address. So this is a chart which is coming based upon my usage report, which I am already consumed for this subscription, and just give create. So it's validating all the things, and now the budget has been created. So whenever you reach the 50% of amount out of this 5,000, you will be get triggered an email that you have consumed the subjected amount of credits in your subscription. So this is how you need to create a budget alert in Microsoft Azure. So now we came to the summary of this tutorial. From this tutorial, we learned about how to create a free Microsoft Azure account, and we also explored the services which are offering by Microsoft Azure for first 12 months of free services, and services which is always free in our account. And we also seen about the subscriptions, what is subscription, types of subscription, and we taken an enterprise account as an example, and we see the flow of hierarchy and access levels of each admins. And we logged into the Azure portal, and we see how to access the Azure portal, and we also done with our setting up a budget for our subscription. And the next set of tutorials, we are going to see about the AZ-104 Azure Administrator concept, which covers the VM, databases, security, monitoring, and the user access management. The topics which I'm going to cover from AZ-104 exam syllabus. So what you all need from your end is, if you like this tutorial, please hit a thumb button and support us to do more tutorials by like, share and comments. Please subscribe to CloudChat 365. Happy learning. Have a great day ahead.